exhibition, I have chosen the topic Believe in Yourself. Nowadays, people are making it a big motto of believing in yourself and are encouraging each other. Unfortunately, there are still 64% of the people in the world who still can't believe in themselves, and there are many reasons. I have also created a demo model to explain in detail. Imagine this is our brain, and these are all the things that are creating doubts towards ourselves in our minds. Laziness. Discrimination, racism. Entitlement. Lack of support. Not enough love. Disrespect. No goals. Negativity, insecurities, bullies, fears. As all of these things build up in our minds and all these emotions carry on, all these things build up and slowly overflow from our minds just like water is flowing out of this jar right now. When this happens, we get bad and negative thoughts such as suicide. Doctors recommend going to therapists, telling this to our parents, telling this to mental helpers and other associates who can help us with all of this. I've also done my exhibition process journal to show how much hard work I have put into my work. This is my KWHL chart, my Sustainable Development Goal to Subject Connection. These are my 3 planning sheets which I have done. And this is my evaluating sources using OPVL chart, and last but not the least, the reflection. This is my exhibition brochure which I have made online. This is the first page in which I focus on quotes and the main reason why I chose Believe in Yourself as my topic. This is the second page in which I focus on subheadings like Let's Do It For Ourselves, Leave the Bullies, Bibliographies, Kind is the New Cool, and Life is Short, Live It to the Fullest. Thank you.
Good morning, respected Principal Sir, Supervisor Sir Bharat, MYP Coordinator Ms. Gurpreet, esteemed teachers and my dear friends. I am Raima Mukherjee from Class 7C, and for this year's exhibition, I have chosen the topic Disaster Risk Reduction and made a PowerPoint and brochure on it. My statement of inquiry is, what is disaster risk reduction? How does it help people? How effective is it? Disaster risk reduction reduces the damage caused by natural hazards like earthquakes, floods, droughts, and cyclones by trying to prevent them. DRR lowers the probability that a hazard or man-made event has catastrophic consequences by making ideas for preventing these natural hazards into reality. DRR involves prevention, mitigation, transfer, and preparedness. Floods, earthquakes, tsunamis, landslides, and droughts are the most severe of natural hazards. In Indonesia, the most common and hazardous are earthquakes, floods, volcano eruptions, and tsunamis. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council manages DRR. Kiki Laval, LTD Munich Re Foundation, DuPont Sustainable Solutions, and DRR Center Universitas Indonesia are examples of companies in DRR. Disaster risk reduction saves lives and money and future-proofs development gains. It limits disaster losses and yields economic, social, and environmental benefits that enhance the well-being and resilience of countries and communities. Reducing exposure to hazards, lessening vulnerability of people and property, wise management of land and the environment, and improving preparedness for adverse events are all examples of disaster risk reduction. This is the brochure that I have made, including some pictures, quotes, and information on the inquiry questions. This is the process journal that I have filled in. Here I have planned what to do and how to do it. I have also reflected on my work. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.
Hello, my name is Simran. I am from 7C. My exhibition topic is on refugees. I chose this topic because I want to raise awareness and tell people what they go through so we can help them. What are refugees? Refugees are people who fled war, violence, conflict, or persecution and have crossed an international border seeking for shelter or help in another country. What problems do refugees face? Refugees cross the international border for a reason, seeking for shelter or help. They were forced to escape because of the problems they faced in the country they were before. They could have been experiencing torture, imprisonment, physical assault, sexual assault, emotionally and physically abused, rape, and lose their property and monetary loss. What are refugees' trauma? Refugees' trauma can include fleeing from war, which has lots of violence and can cause trauma to them and emotional distress. Their trauma can also be cause of persecution, which can affect their emotional and physical health after these events have occurred before they reach the camps. An example is what the people of Ukraine are going through right now. They become refugees because they have fled from war in their country and have crossed the border of Poland, Belgium, Austria, etc. for help. What do refugee children face? Refugee children are at high risk for mental illnesses. They can get mental illnesses like PTSD, depression, anxiety, as they are exposed to violence and migration stress at such a young age, etc. Around 11% of refugee children can develop PTSD. They can also develop other problems. They can also have difficulties adjusting to the new rules there. The education there might also be in another language. They can't do their daily physical activities. Some children also had to migrate alone during recent war between Russia and Ukraine, as their parents were fighting to save for their country from the attacking country. A child from Ukraine had to migrate alone to the border of Poland because his parents had to stay back and fight for their country.
Good morning, respected principal, supervisors, coordinators, teachers, and my dear friends. My name is Checha from 7C, and my topic for my exhibition is How does child labor affect the child and the society? Well, how child labor affects the child. They have to work for extra money, get less education, and have to work or sell products under the sun. How child labor affects the society. They get less time to spend with their friends and family. Child labor are children that may be driven into work for various reasons. Most often, child labor occurs when family faces financial challenges or uncertainty. I also learned that we can prevent child labor by financial aid for poor children, more employment, provide student fees, foster moms can adopt the children, and have strict laws for punishing people who employ child laborers. This is my global context. This is my key and related concept. My statement of inquiry is that family economic improvement is a way to prevent children from working on the streets. I did an interview with a girl that was singing on the street, and this is the video.
Kelas 2. Bapak aku baru dari orang tua kan aku lagi ke sekolah. Uangnya buat beli seragam.
Umurnya berapa?
9 tahun.
Belajar di sekolah nggak?
Karena tinggi petang.
Makasih ya.
This is the dialogue of the interview translated to English. So in general, she's a second grader in Tanah Tinggi Petang who wants to entertain people on the streets to get money so she can use it to buy her school uniform. This is my poster, my leaflet, and my bibliography. Thank you for watching my presentation and have a great day. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rajvir. This is my PowerPoint presentation for Grade 7 exhibition on my topic, No War. My religion is based on the truth and non-violence. Mahatma Gandhi. War. War is an intense armed conflict between states, governments, societies, or paramilitary groups. It is generally characterized by extreme violence, aggression, destruction, and mortality, using regular or irregular military forces. Is war good for us? War has a catastrophic effect on the health and well-being of nations. Studies have shown that conflict situations cause more mortality and disability than any more major diseases. War destroys communities and families and often disrupts the development of social and economic fabric of nations. This is an example I took from the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. So far, the war has resulted in hundreds of civilian deaths and injuries, regular shelling of major cities, and intense firefighters between Russian soldiers and Ukraine defense forces, which have seen an influx of civilian volunteers. More than 2 people have fled Ukraine, with refugees entering neighbor countries in a growing humanitarian crisis. The war in Ukraine and the threat of further destabilization in Europe has thrown global markets into turmoil, largely due to Russia's predominantary role in a number of global commodity markets. World Bank Group president recently called it a catastrophe for the world economy that could have sent global inflation higher and hit poor countries the hardest. That's unlikely to trigger a recession in the US, where economic and growth has been strong over the past year. But the war will probably continue to affect consumer prices and confidence. What does a common person like me think about war? I believe a war can bring glory to a country or leader, but it kills many innocent people along the way. Also, the effect of war is felt to people living in poor countries due to increase in daily usage commodities. This is the resources I use for this PowerPoint. This is my booklet. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jin Lee, and today I will talk about adopting animal and my animal house. My topic is adopting animals. In my house, there are so many animals and they like to play and eating food. I have 1 dog, 4 cats, 1 lizard, and more than 20 fish. And sometimes I take care of insects. Look at the picture of my cats. Aren't they so cute? I will adopt more animals in the future. I talk about this topic because I want to talk about my animals and adopt more animals. Some people adopt animals, but later the people abandon them. Do you know why? Because they don't know how to take care of the animals and then they adopt it. So the animals get hurt and people don't know how to do, so they abandon the animals. So I want to talk, if you want to adopt animals, you must know how to take care of them. And then I want to explain my cat. This cat, his name is Penny, but his brain is not good. And this black cat, he can't make a sound. And my topic is adopting animals. So please, if you want to adopt animal, you must know how to take care of it. Thank you. Thank you for watching my video.
Hello everyone, my name is Ronavie from 7C, and today my exhibition topic is gender neutrality. These are my posters. Gender neutrality is an idea that policies, language, and society should avoid distinguishing roles according to people's sex or gender. This is in order to avoid discrimination arising from the impression that there are social roles for which one gender is more suited than another. The gender binary assigns different roles, status, and power to humans with male and female genitals and different expectations from them in terms of their behavior, presence, and psychological characteristics. It forces a population of human mosaics into a binary straitjacket. Practicing gender neutrality helps to break free from the gender binary and conduct yourself the way you want. It encourages people to practice the true right to freedom and expression. A world without gender is a world in which humans are encouraged to develop their full human potential. It is really important how we use our language. Instead of men/women to everyone, mankind to humankind, man-made to artificial, policeman to police officer, etc. Gone are the days when skirts amplified femininity and trousers the opposite. Gender-neutral fashion may appear to be new, but it has been actually around since the 1960s. There was no clothing that included people who identify as non-binary, genderqueer, or any other gender besides male or female. This is where today's gender-neutral fashion differs. Now we're beginning to see both masculine and feminine items that can be worn by anyone no matter their gender. A dress is a dress, a skirt is a skirt, a jacket's a jacket, a lipstick is a lipstick. We tend to gender everything. Our entire world is built on a binary construct. We should allow folks to express themselves in the way they feel comfortable, the way that feels authentic to them. When you press people about why we use gender so often in society, the only answer boils down to the social custom. We've always done it this way. Rather than having the mentality of I know all the right terminology to use all the time, we need to be willing to constantly shift and learn. These are the products that I drew digitally. This balance represents equality. And this represents that the other gender gets more credit than it should. This is my brochure. And this is my process journal. Hope you learned something new today. Thank you everyone for watching.
Good morning, my name is Javesh and I'm from 7C, and my topic is about the war in Ukraine. What is the cause of Ukraine? War. Without going back to Ukraine, the historical and religious cradle of Russia, the root cause of this war traces back to 1997, when Zbigniew Brzezinski, the most influential advisor to the American president for 30 years, published this book, The Great Chessboard, in which he explained that the strategic goal of the United States is to seize Ukraine and dismember Russia to break its power in Europe. The effect. The war has caused 50% of Ukrainian businesses to shut down completely, while the other half is forced to operate well below its capacity. If the war deepens and protracts further, up to 90% of the population of Ukraine could be facing poverty and vulnerability to poverty. The conflict of the war is that the conflict is a major blow to the global economy that will hurt growth and raise prices beyond the suffering and humanitarian crisis from Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The entire global economy will feel the effects of slower growth and faster inflation. This is my brochure. And this is my poster. Thank you.
Gender Equality, PowerPoint by Bian, GMIS, Jakarta, Grade 7C. Gender equality is the state of equal ease of access to resources and opportunities regardless of gender, including economic participation and decision-making, and the state of valuing different behaviors, aspirations, and needs equally, regardless of gender. It is time that we all see gender as a spectrum instead of two sets of opposing ideals. Emma Watson. According to UNICEF, 1 in 4 girls between the ages of 15 and 19 are neither employed nor in education or training, while only 1 in 10 boys are not. In its most insidious form, gender inequality turns violent. Hundreds of millions of girls worldwide are still subjected to child marriage and female genital mutilation. Harmful gender norms are perpetuated at the highest levels. Boys also suffer from gender norms. Social conceptions of masculinity can fuel child labor, gang violence, disengagement from school, and recruitment into armed groups. How do we end gender inequality? First, we should start by ending discrimination against women and girls. We should also ensure full participation in leadership and decision-making, value unpaid care and promote shared domestic responsibilities, ensure equal rights to economic resources, property, ownership, and financial services, and we should also promote empowerment of women through technology. This is the problem and solution graph. You may pause if you want to read. This is my bibliography. This is my planner.
Good morning, everyone. I am Alicia Shajan from 7C. For the exhibition, I have chosen the topic No War. There's no war that will end all wars by Haruki Murakami. War and its consequences. War is a dynamic armed conflict between two or more nations, states, countries, etc. It's with the use of regular or irregular military forces. It contains an extreme use of violence, aggression, destruction, and mortality. War is a threat to innocent lives, property, economy, etc. The World War I and World War II are the major wars that took place in history. The two wars ended by killing millions of people and did massive damages. Ukraine versus Russia. There is a war that is currently occurring between Ukraine and Russia. What is happening in Ukraine and Russia? There are many damages that are to be fixed, but will cost a lot of time, effort, and money. Due to the war, civilians are facing mental and physical issues as well. War is costly, but peace is priceless. War is expensive, as the weapons needed are pricey, and to fix the damage that is done also needs to be mended. Meanwhile, peace is free. Let us opt for peace. This is my poster. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Ketrin from 7C. My mentor is Ms. Ariani, and in this exhibition, I'm going to tell you guys about carbon gas emission. What is carbon gas emission? Carbon gas emission are gases that are released from a combustion that containing carbon. Example of it is carbon dioxide, LPG gas, wood, leaf, diesel, and other fuels that containing hydrocarbon. Some countries that emit more carbon gases are China, United States, Russia, India, the European Union, and Japan. Then, what is the impact of carbon gas emission? Carbon gas emission can cause unpredictable climate that can cause flooding, famine, and even economic instability. And if it still continue, it can make our temperature to increase and cause global warming. Then, what should we do? There are several ways that we can do. Like for example, is saving or eventually use the electricity. If you have electricity in your house that you're not using, just turn it off. Like maybe even if it's just simple like lamp or air conditioner or something. Like if you don't use it, just turn it off. Have to also change in lifestyle and buying habit. Transportation, of course. Then we have to preserve the forest and replacing the energy that is fossil to friendly energy such as Belta, Beltebe, Beltas, and other energies friendly. That's all from me. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello, I am Shubhan of 7C, and today I am going to show my exhibition project on climate change. Climate change is the average weather in a place over many years. Climate change is a shift in those average weather conditions. The rapid climate change we are now seeing is caused by humans using oil, gas, and coal from their homes, factories, and transports. When these fossil fuels burn, they release greenhouse gases, mostly carbon dioxide. This is a graph of the average rise in the temperature from 1880 to 2020. Sea levels are rising and oceans are becoming warmer. Longer, more intense droughts threatens crops, wildlife, and freshwater supplies, from polar bears in the Arctic to marine turtles off the coast of Africa. Our planet's diversity of life is at risk from the changing climate. Deforestation is the main cause of climate change. People cut down 15 billion trees each year, and the global tree count has fallen by 46% since the beginning of the human civilization. Another reason for the cause of climate change is the usage of oil and gas. It is used in every industry. It is most used in vehicles, buildings, production, and to produce electricity. We can prevent climate change by saving energy at home, taking less carbon-emitting vehicles to travel, reducing, reusing, and recycling. By buying eco-friendly products, and also we should not burn oil, gas, and coal foolishly. This is my climate change poster. This is my brochure. This is my process journal. The Earth is What We All Have in Common by Wendell Berry. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, my name is Noyanika and my topic for my exhibition is water pollution. What is water pollution? Water pollution occurs when chemicals contaminate water sources, rendering the water unfit for drinking, cooking, cleaning, swimming, and other activities. Chemicals, waste, bacteria, and parasites are examples of pollutants. What is water pollution affect? Typhoid, cholera, hepatitis, and other diseases are caused by it. Ecosystem destruction. Ecosystems are incredibly dynamic and respond to even little changes in their surroundings. If allowed unchecked, water pollution can lead to the collapse of an entire ecosystem. What are the main causes of water pollution? Rapid urban development, improper sewage disposal, fertilizer runoff, oil spills, chemical waste dumping, and radioactive waste discharge. How can water pollution affect animals? The immediate impact on the wildlife includes oil-coated birds and sea turtles, mammal ingestion of oil, and dead or dying deep-sea coral. Animals are also affected by solid waste thrown into water bodies as they harm them in many ways. How can water pollution be stopped? Pick up litter in the park or on the street. Sweep your gutter and driveway regularly and put the sweepings on the garden, the compost or in the bin. Stop soil or mulch being washed or blown off the garden. Clean up pet droppings and dispose of them in the garden or rubbish bin or in the toilet. This is my bibliography for my work. Thank you for listening.
Water pollution. What is water pollution? Water pollution is when water bodies get contaminated with people's trash. This human activity harms the ecosystem services, which is bad for us and the animals. Why is this dangerous? Water pollution may cause diseases or act as poisons. The bacteria that goes in the ocean could affect the water that people drink and could cause digestive problems. And this could also affect animals that we eat. So it would affect us, which would make our lives in danger. In Indonesia, there is a place called Depok City. This place is one of the most polluted cities in Indonesia. It is so dangerous that the people that live there have a lower lifespan than people in other countries. Ways to reduce water. Trash or yard waste. Don't pour your oil down the drains. Never clean up a spill by spraying it into a drain. Start using reusable bottles. Solution. Always use a minimal amount of detergent when washing clothes, and never pour dangerous chemicals like oil into sewers, as it will go into the ocean and endanger the water and the sea creatures. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Akshay and my exhibition topic is security and well-being. Security and well-being is a global issue, so first we need to know what is a global issue. Global issues are a matter of economic, environmental, social and political conflicts that affect the whole world as a community. How is security and well-being a global issue? Security and safety challenges rank among most pressing issues of modern times. Challenges such as cybercrime, terrorism, and environmental disasters impact the lives of millions across the globe. Security and well-being, two sides of the same coin. Recently, we attempted digital security training for human rights defense in South and Southern Asia, organized to support digital security needs and emotional reliance techniques that participants identified as being important to continue their work as lawyers, human rights defense, and journalists. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Khushi Srivats from grade 7C, and today I will be talking about my exhibition topic, gender equality. What is gender equality? Gender equality is when people of all genders have equal rights, responsibilities, and opportunities. Everyone is affected by gender equality: women, men, and transgender people. Examples of gender equality. Equality between men and women exists when both genders are able to share equally in the distribution of power and influence. Some examples are recruitment of any gender, frontline workers of any gender. Olympic participation. Did you know 47% of seats are reserved for women? The photo on the right shows the participation of female and male athletes in the Olympics from 1896 to 2008. We can see that from 1896 to 1908, no female athletes were in the Olympics. Female participation started out low from 1912 and has grown gradually. Why is gender important in our society? Gender is of importance in defining the power, privilege, and possibilities that some people have and some people do not have in a given society. Why is it important? 1. For the success of our organizations. 2. It is the right thing and smart thing to do. 3. It is important for the whole world. Benefits of gender equality. Number 1. Fairness. Number 2. Limitless possibilities. Number 3. Happiness. Number 4. Peace and security. This is a photo that I've added. This is the bibliography that I have used to make my presentation. Last but not least, this is my brochure that I have made. Thank you.
Hello, today I'm going to show my exhibition project about light pollution. What is light pollution? Light pollution, also known as photographic pollution or luminous pollution, is excessive or obstruct of artificial light. Light pollution first made news in 1964 when an observatory was specially placed just to avoid light pollution. Light pollution can be divided into two main types. 1. Annoying light that intrudes on an otherwise natural or low light setting. 2. Excessive light, generally indoors, that leads to discomfort and adverse health effects. Types of pollution, light pollution. night trespass. Not only it is a form of pollution, but it is also a crime in many areas. Night transgression refers to unwanted light entering a person's property. It could be light from a sign coming into a residential area or similar circumstances. Over-illumination. This is caused by the misuse of lights. Lights on, or even street lights that are not set for daylight saving time, can result in millions of barrels of oil being wasted. This can immediately lead to an increase in operation costs in the area and can disrupt natural street patterns. Consequences. Effect on human health and psychology. Increased headache incidence, work fatigue, mentally defined stress. Effect on mood and anxiety. Reduction. Utilizing right sources of minimum intensity necessary to accomplish the light's purpose. 2. Turning off lights using a timer or occupancy sensor or manually when not needed. This kind of LED drop light could reduce unnecessary light pollution in building interiors. Thank you. And here is my exhibition brochure. Thank you.
I'm Ishika from 7C and I'll be discussing gender discrimination. Gender discrimination is the unequal treatment of a person or a group of people based on their gender. Gender discrimination could be caused by a variety of factors. In some societies where men are considered superior, women are treated unequally. When compared to women, they are given preference in education, nutrition, and health. Gender inequalities include gender bias in education and health facility distribution. Women work longer hours than men. Unemployment and earnings inequality. Inequality in ownership. Inequality in survival. Gender inequality in expression freedom. This is not a fair treatment, which is why I'm here to tell you how we can get rid of the gender discrimination. Here are a few ways to fight gender discrimination for a better society. Educate the female child. Encourage them to pursue a higher education. Provide health advantages. Encourage them to open bank accounts. Give them equal opportunities and to advance in their careers. It is everyone's responsibility to show respect and understand that all genders are important and that should be treated equally in society. Thank you.
I'm Anu from 7C, and today my topic for my exhibition is air and water pollution. Why I chose this topic is poor water quality has its most direct impact on aquatic wildlife, particularly fish, bugs, and plants. Excess nutrients, sediments, road salt, and other contaminants can reduce the variety and hardiness of organisms living in the state of waters. Air pollution. Exposure to air pollution can affect everyone's health. When we breathe, pollution enters our lungs and can enter our bloodstream. Air pollution can contribute to small annoyances like coughing or itchy eyes. It can also cause or worsen many diseases involving the lungs and breathing, leading to hospitalization, cancer, or even premature death. This is my brochure. And this is my model. This is our city when it's green and where there is no pollution. This is where a place where there is a lot of pollution, air, water, and etc. Crippled and dry. And this next part is a PowerPoint presentation. Thank you for listening and being patient with me. Have a good day.
Hello everyone, my name is Siddhant from 7C, and today I'm here to talk to you about a very serious problem in today's world. That is called child labor. Child labor is a very serious problem because it robs children of their free will and their right to education. Let me tell you a few points on why I believe child labor should be stopped and what you can do to help stop it. So basically, in child labor, children are usually robbed of their education and free will, but this usually stems from them growing up in poor countries with no schools, or them growing up in poor neighborhoods. Or sometimes parents also who are too poor to raise their kids usually leave them on the streets, and strangers pick them up and make them do their dirty work for them. Children usually don't have a say in this, which I feel is really bad, seeing as since they're only children, they don't understand what's going on and they do whatever is told to them. There are a few countries that child labor is most prominent in. These are a few of the countries: Somalia, India, North Korea, Syria, Indonesia, and etc. In child labor, mostly there are gangs which take children hostage, and they usually put them on the street and make them beg for money. This is really wrong, and there are many ways you can help. There are many non-profit organizations that help preventing child labor. Why don't you take a moment of your time today and go donate to one of them? $1 could help a child in need.
Hello everyone, my name is Nicolette from 7C and I'm going to be talking about child labor. What is child labor? Child labor refers to the exploitation of children to any form of work that deprives children of their childhood, interferes with their ability to attend regular school, and is mentally, physically, socially, and morally harmful. Child labor in Africa. 9% of African children are in hazardous work. Again, highest of all the world's region. Africa has the largest number of child laborers. 72.1 million African children are estimated to be in child labor and 31.5 million in hazardous work. Experts estimate that a total of 30 million children in sub-Saharan Africa do not attend school. 54% of them are girls, particularly critical in the situation in Nigeria, Ethiopia, and Niger. Kids in Africa work on plantations, in mines, or factories. Child labor in Indonesia. In 2020, the total number of child workers in Indonesia amounted to 1.17 million. Child labor in Indonesia is still growing due to poverty and lack of access to education in some parts of the country. Why does child labor happen? Children may be driven into work for various reasons. Most often, child labor occurs when families face financial challenges or uncertainty, whether due to poverty, sudden illness of a caregiver, lack of access to quality education, or job loss. Poor children and their family may rely upon child labor in order to improve their chances of attaining basic necessities. Some child labor examples: slavery, child trafficking, drug trafficking, debt bondage. Why is child labor dangerous? Child labor can result in extreme bodily and mental harm, and even death. It can lead to slavery and economic exploitation. And in nearly every case, it cuts children off from schooling and healthcare, restricting their fundamental rights and threatening their future. Bibliography. This is my brochure. And this is my process journal. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning, my name is Misha Morandani and I am from grade 7C. Today I'm going to talk about my exhibition topic, which is the war in Ukraine. I chose this topic because I felt greatly saddened by the loss, devastation, and destruction Ukraine has faced over the course of this war. Lives have been lost, families have been separated, and millions of refugees have been created. This is my interdisciplinary theme and statement of inquiry. In this presentation, I wrote about the source of the conflict of the war, the effects of it on Ukraine, its people, and the world, and the deaths it has caused. This is the damage that the war has caused in Ukraine cities. I also wrote about Ukrainian refugees' search for shelter. These are images of the Ukrainian refugees filing into one tiny train that takes them out of the country and into neighboring countries like Poland and Moldova. In addition, I wrote about the economic sanctions several countries have imposed on Russia and how the United Nations have officially suspended Russia from the International Human Rights Association in support of Ukraine. Lastly, I wrote about what we can do to help and what the rest of the world is doing to help. I also made a brochure based on the most important parts of my PowerPoint presentation. This is my brochure. I documented my entire research process in my process journal. I wrote about my planning in a KWHL chart, used a planning sheet to write down my ideas, and reflected on my topic. To conclude, we must all join hands as humanity to prevent atrocities like this from ever happening again.
Gender equality. In this world, everyone should have the freedom to live their life as they want to, a man or a woman, and they should not be judged. Examples of gender equality can be not having good education, violence, racism, poor medical care, etc. Women in the past were expected to stay at home and take care of the children, while a man should work all day and earn for the family. Child marriages were also very common in the past. Young females have the greatest poverty rates. As boys and girls grow older, the gender difference in poverty widens. Everyone expected women to have a child right after marriage, which wasn't right, because they should have the rights to make their own decisions because it's their body and they should be comfortable with it. Not only women. We live in a world where if a man shows emotions, we consider him womanish or unmanly, which is disgusting. Bottling up feeling leads to higher chances of diseases, which men tend to have. As you can see these graphs, they show most people who agree it is important for women to have the same rights as men in their country. India and Saudi Arabia are the top 2 countries with gender inequality, while Norway and Iceland have equality in all genders. There are many ways to fight inequality. We should give women the education because they aren't weak and they can do stuff. And we should let a man be comfortable with sharing his feelings to his friends or family without being labeled. Thank you.